Greetings and good evening from Amsterdam Central Station. Today we are heading back to Utrecht with NS for the last time. The station right now is fairly crowded, which makes sense seeing as it is right around the evening rush hour time. As usual, passengers are required to scan their credit cards in order to enter the station, which again takes no time. I was unfortunately unable to get much footage of the station as I only had a short amount of time before my train scheduled departure. Now, if you see my first video on NS, you'll remember that I stated one of NS's strengths to be high frequency, and here's what I mean. I planned to take an NS Sprinter for my ride back to Utrecht, but as I got to the platform, the train began to pull out of the station, leaving me stranded here for the time being. Because of high frequency, this wasn't a problem, as the next train would pick me up in a matter of minutes. Only a little bit after the Sprinter, another NS train arrived and we could begin making our way back to Utrecht. For this ride, I chose to sit on the lower level instead of the upper in the name of changing things up a little bit. I'd only just seated myself by the time our train started to move, beginning our ride back to Utrecht Centraal and our final ride on NS for this trip. We meet a few other trains as we leave the Netherlands' capital city behind, making our way out into the countryside. As we cruise, it's time to take a look at the seating on the lower level. While I didn't have a tape measure, it appeared that there was about a foot of space to the next seat, which is just enough space to be able to stretch out and get comfortable. As with on most trains, a tray table folds out from the seat in front. What was rather interesting was this marking of what appeared to be a bird on a branch. I'm not sure what it actually was, but it's what it is. The padding on the seat is quite different than on the upper level. Unlike the darker blue fabric I had experienced on my previous two rides on NS, the fabric on this seat is a lot fuzzier and much lighter blue. The only exception to this is the headrest, which still has the darker blue fabric from my previous rides. Perhaps the biggest difference to these seats is the fact that the armrests don't fold up. On previous rides, the armrests were bars that can fold up, but here, there's small walls on the sides of the seats that don't move at all. I'm not sure why this was the case, but it's what it is. Just under the tray table is a small trash can, which comes in handy when you're trying to throw out waste. Despite those few aforementioned differences, it's still pretty normal for a commuter train service. If you're having fun on NS so far, I suggest tapping that subscribe button down below, as it's a great way to help support the channel and the content I produce. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to the considerable growth on this channel in recent times, as it's a true motivation for me to keep making great content like this. There's quite a lot to look forward to over the next few weeks, so stick around if you want to see it. As we made our way back to Utrecht, our train began traveling at what appeared to be triple-digit speed. While not the fastest train in Europe, or even the Netherlands for that matter, it still makes for a fast and efficient way to travel to our destination. If you think this is fast, be sure to stay tuned for my rides on the Italo and Frecciarossa high-speed trains coming up in the next few weeks, as these are going to be the true high-speed trains. Meantime, let's enjoy the speed we're going at right now as we head to the Netherlands countryside. Our train begins to slow down as urbanization returns, Utrecht Centraal Station soon coming into view as we pull into the station. This will be our last arrival into Utrecht on NS for this trip, because in the next video I'll be taking the Nightjet NJ403 sleeper train from here to Zurich. I hope you all are ready for a nice luxury sleeper train experience unlike anything we have done before, because this one should be good. As our train rolled to a stop, I soon grabbed my bags and made my way down the aisle to disembark into Utrecht Central station. The station was rather crowded at this time. Because it was rush hour, once we had gotten off, another load of passengers rushed their way back on. It wasn't long, however, before the doors closed and our train continued on its way. Like I said, at this time, the platforms are bustling with passengers, with trains arriving and departing every few minutes or so. On the other side of the platform, another NS train departs en route to Rotterdam. Soon after, an NS Sprinter arrives on the track right next to where our train departed. While I'd like to stick around and do some rail fanning, it's now time to head up into Utrecht Central, where our video will reach its terminus. If you enjoyed my videos, I suggest clicking a like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to the considerable growth on this channel in recent times, as it's a true motivation for me to keep making great content like this. There's a lot to look forward to over the next few weeks, so stick around if you want to see it. Anyways, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I will see you all next time. Take care.